Hello, everybody. Joe McCarthy, your favorite polygraph examiner from Finian Polygraph Services, independent and unbiased, verifies of the truth right here in Texas. Um, well, how do you become a polygraph examiner in the state of Texas, and how do you open up shop? Those are the two questions I've been getting a lot of phone calls on lately. I assume that's because people have figured out that, well, there's no more licensing in the state of Texas. No more licensing, no more standards. There's nobody looking over our shoulders anymore. There are no more consequences. It is pretty much the wild, wild west here in Texas. And that brings me to my two answers to those two questions. Answer number one. Well, buy a polygraph machine or instrument. Rent some office space, and congratulations, you're a polygraph examiner. I guess that's the way it works in Texas now, right? Option number two, and this is actually, if you were sitting across from me and I liked you, this would be the advice that I would give you. And please, I'm begging you to take this advice. Don't go with option number one. Do what if you want to become a polygraph examiner in the state of Texas, do what I'm about ready to tell you to do, because these steps are important to lay the foundation for a successful career in the polygraph industry. Okay, so here's answer number two. Find an American Polygraph Association accredited polygraph school. Take your basic course, then take your PCSOT course. But before you do that, find a polygraph examiner that's been around the block more than a few times to intern you. Okay? And I cannot stress this part enough with the internship. Okay? Because in polygraph school, they teach you about polygraph. They'll teach you great things: physiology, psychology, question formulation, question formatting, history. They'll teach you all the wonderful things about polygraph, and it really is fascinating and interesting information. I couldn't suggest it enough. But what is the most important thing once you get out of your basic course and your PCSOT course, and I cannot stress this enough, is at least, in my opinion, a 6-month-long internship with a qualified polygraph examiner. Okay? Because there are lots of nuances involved in the industry, from running a test to nuances of opening up your own doors. Okay? Because you are going to be, if you're planning on going on your own, you are going to need the advice of somebody who's been around the block. Otherwise, you're either going to fail or you're going to quit. Internship is extremely important. Once again, it teaches you all the nuances. Okay? The most important part of my education as a polygraph examiner, and I've said this many times to many people, was my internship. My intern instructor, his name was Don Ramsey. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's still alive. I know he's not practicing in Texas. And if he is watching this, all I can say is Don, thank you for everything that you have taught me. Everything that I do inside of my polygraph room while I'm doing a test is still a little bit of you. Okay? And that's the advice I'd like to give you, to give all of you too. When you do that internship, watch your polygraph intern instructor. Watch him. If there's a CCTV system inside of that office, watch him on that camera. Okay? What I did is I mimicked Don Ramsey for a good long time. But there were some things that Don had to kind of, train me out of. Bad habits that was learned early on in my polygraph career. That were not conducive. Okay, when I came back from polygraph school, I was a jerk. I'm not going to deny it. Okay. It was Don Ramsey that sat there and looked at me and gave me the best advice as a polygraph examiner I'd ever gotten. And he looked at me and says, Joe, people won't talk to their inquisitor, they'll talk to their friend. And he also told me one day that the more of this, the more gray hair and the less hair you have on your head, the better a polygraph examiner you're going to be. And I'll tell you something, that that bit of wisdom proved true also, Don. Your internship will probably become the most important part of building the foundation to a successful polygraph career. Okay. In polygraph school, once again, they're going to give you the tools. They give you this, for lack of a better term, the square, the compass, the level. They're going to teach you how to use these tools. Okay. During your apprenticeship, during your internship, you're going to learn how to use those tools in a way that's going to make you successful. So there are your two answers. The first answer is you could just go ahead and open up an office, buy a polygraph instrument, and bada bing, bada boom, in the state of Texas, you are ready to go. Option number 2, APA approved polygraph examiner school, basic course, PCSOT course, 6-month internship. Now there are lots of nuances that go with both sides of that. And it would be a long video if I explain those nuances. But if you want to know what those nuances are, just go ahead and let me know inside of the comments, and I will be more than happy to make a video in regard to the nuances between education option number 1 and education option number 2. Okay? Thanks a lot for listening. Hope that you're having a great one, and be careful out there.